ring as a representation of that eagle. It represents the freedom to fly when it's open wings and the stability and groundedness of holding self by closing the wings around you. So, and after buying this ring, it felt like it's a commitment to myself that the stronger I am the more rooted I am, the higher I can fly. So this is my balance ring, Mr. Balance.
Eagle is such a beautiful reminder of compassion and wisdom. So, since we're here together, we might as well record and get started, and then we can share the recording with our amazing ambassadors. We invite more of them to show up regularly, and with that, we get to show up for each other. So maybe we can both breathe into our hearts together, Chennai. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Do you mind if I guide us uh, and we just take full responsibility of the experience?
Let's do it.
Beautiful. So I invite us to close our eyes, breathe in and hold at the top. Let it go. One more time. And at the top, maybe just reminding ourselves of this great gift. No mind, full presence, the ability to feel and communicate from this place every time that we want something to say or we have something to say, have something to do, that it comes from this place of feeling, of knowing that this infinite level of intelligence is communicating with us consistently without us even having to think about it. One more breath in. Grounding ourselves into knowing that the coherent space is here now, that we get to serve from this place of infinite intelligence. Inviting us to open our eyes with a big smile.
When you didn't give me the command to release my breath, I was being suffocated.
That's good. That you're breaking through. I love it. You were experiencing and letting it just come through you. Good. It's amazing how these breath holds, that great Rodo taught us, gave me the awareness of using it with so much more strength. I always acknowledge his wisdom because he gave me so much of it. And I'm so grateful for him.
Yeah,
He's a good man.
all three of them.
All of them, and they all have beautiful different ways of acknowledging. And I think that that's kind of one of, or many of our dear friends that we get to call as we um, continue to create and cultivate a meaningful experience now and into the future. And so maybe do you want to share any of your big wins for the last week, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
I'll go first. So I don't know my computer. I'm gonna just move this here so it stops glitching in and out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I think, for myself, remember last week I shared how important it was for me to be held accountable um, to the brand partnership with Alana. and you know, the activation of her. What I'm really excited about is, although we weren't able to activate her in terms of the brand partnership, as you saw in the emails, we activated her in a way of co-creating together. So we can actually consult and we can serve her and we can provide a lot more value to her by helping her create what she needs as a result of this amazing regenerative innovation consultancy. So I'm grateful that, you know, we in that email were able to express our gratitude to her, and she also is seeing the magic of what you're creating and wanting to think of bigger ways to evolve. So I'm grateful that we have activated that in our experience and seeing the opportunity to think bigger, you know, especially since she's in Sydney in Australia, and you know, wanting to activate this bridge from Ibiza and Australia together. So that was really exciting for us. And as you know, I mean, you were there. We jumped on that beautiful call with Wilson, who's one of the VCs here in Canada, who's a dear friend of my cousin's. So I'm really excited that we had that call because, as you know, that call went really well. Which, by the way, we have scheduled a follow-up call on May 9th to really talk deeper after I sent over the brand partnership to transformational partner review. So he's going to talk to his partners about it, and we'll get to have a final opportunity May 9th. And we, of course, activated Jeff Booth on with you, and Michael responded also, which I'm really excited. He's one of the major partners of CWM, and I think it was a $10 billion private equity fund that he managed. So I'm really excited that you and him are going to meet and that he had answered the call to really connect with you. So those were my big wins, and I'm really excited for it.
Thank you, Eric. Really like everyone that you introduced me are amazing people, very successful. What I like is that they combine regeneration, spirituality, consciousness with financial success and innovation in their domains. And the way that they embrace different disciplines is truly, truly amazing. It gives me a lot of hope also for our mission. Sometimes you feel like people don't get it, but not only that they get it, they also do it. And they are ready to be activated as regenerative innovation ambassadors, leaders, case studies, and collaborators. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity, meeting with those amazing people. Thank you. So last week, oh my God, every day something has happened, but I'm really so happy meeting new people, receiving their feedback. Let's start with RX codes. Tomorrow, we are having the activation of RX code value, which we are going to touch. What is wealth? What is value? What does it mean for the innovation leaders with Charles Eisenstein tomorrow, who is someone that I am inspired in the beginning of my journey 15 years ago. When I was living in Istanbul, had no idea about the possible different economic scenarios in harmony with nature when I was introduced to his gift economy invitation. So I'm very happy that he accepted. We are introduced through David Weber, who also agreed to be an ambassador of Heartmasters. I'm very excited about it because he's a part of Envision Festival, Holo Movement. So he's very well knowledgeable and visionary in the domain. So he really loves what we are doing, and he's going to be involved in the long-term mission as well, like we invite everyone. I have been introduced through our ambassadors to their networks. Irina introduced me with an amazing woman who is now activating her communities in Richard Branson's networks in London, in Scotland. And let's see where it takes us, because these are the people. Hi, Rachel.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
Very good. We
Good.
started checking in with our last week's wins. We are
Yeah.
recording for our other ambassadors. Please.
Mm,
So
beautiful.
let me continue with the other wins.
Please.
So Liana is starting this regenerative branches with Juntos, where we are going to be present for 3 weeks in a row, starting from 8th of May, to present about Heart Masters, Regenerate X, and our collaborations within the program and beyond the program with RX codes. That's a win. I think that's a good initiation. We have done the podcast with Mark Buckley. He's gonna put it out there. I don't know the dates, but it was amazing, such a joy. I have done the Instagram live with Dr. Ender Saraj. He has 1 million followers on Instagram, and I think there were like 500 people watching in and out in like less than 2 hours. Turkish people, we did it in Turkish. Next one will be in English. So it also gives me the opportunity to connect to my land and invite people from there. What else? I mean, there are many things that happen, but I think the biggest win for me is to see how people resonating with the invitation and the messages of regenerative innovation. In the beginning, it was like, huh, what are you talking about? And 7 weeks into the RX codes and our activation with ambassadors, now people are more participating and even asking questions to take part in it. I see the ripple is growing. Still, at this point, we need people to show up and to bring their networks and to be also mindful of the timings. So I would be so grateful if we have plans and if we show up when we commit. So that is my message to our beautiful ambassadors.
So beautiful. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you know each other?
No, we just met. So I think that this is like a beautiful segue into getting to know you, Rachel. And one thing I just would love to get like emphasize, I think it's so important that when we commit to something that we follow through with those commitments. And I really love that you bring that up, Chennai. I think it's kind of that highest level of integrity. We get what we tolerate, in life. And if it doesn't show up in one area of our life, it will show up in others if we don't pay attention to the patterns. And so this pattern recognition of like not following through, where else can it show up if we don't follow through on the commitments we've created in something just simple as our words and following through with them. So I think this is something that I've always recognized as so important and so integral. And so thank you for bringing that awareness to the table and igniting that in us all. Rachel,
Learning
welcome.
Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I guess that statement, Eric, is exactly why I'm here. It's very early for me right now in Colorado. And last week you sent me a video and I sent you a video and I said that I will be here on Tuesday. And here I am. This Tuesday specifically. I'm like, I don't know if I can make everything, but I'll be at the next one. And so I'm grateful to be in this space with you guys. And yeah, I'm out here in the States. I'm supposed to be living in Ibiza right now, but it's just not that hasn't happened. But when I get there, I'm staying there. So I'll be there for at least the month of June and hopefully sort things out so I can be there year round.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great. You
very
belong here, and
I
Ibiza
know.
belongs.
So I'm
Actually,
very
the other day when we were doing the podcast with Mark, he said, Rachel, who is also living in Ibiza. I'm like, this must be the sign she's moving, and now you're saying
yeah.
this.
Well,
Fantastic.
I was supposed to only leave the island for a couple of months and like 2 months. I take care of my visa because I already have my visa taken care of to be in Spain and all that. But like I said, I met my partner, Stephen, while I was out here. And so we've been figuring out the United States and kind of on-gluing him so that he can come and be with us there. So that'll be great.
Oh, looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, he's a great
Yeah,
guy.
I'm curious, Rachel, about because I have just met you, and I know Chennai has always said really beautiful things about you. However, I'd love to discover kind of in terms of alignments and community development, what you're cultivating right now, and what do you see that you can continue to activate in your community so that we can bring more awareness to the magic of Heart Masters. I know I'm right to the point, but I really want to make sure we are activating this as a team. If it's cool, I'd love to get your insight of ways that you're could probably benefit the community that you're part of, or the people in Colorado, in the States, to give them even more awareness of this magic that Chennai has so graciously put on for us all.
Oh yeah, so we're definitely constellating together. Janai and I have very similar, very, very similar projects. It's so beautiful. My company is called Metaculture, but the tagline underneath it is the embodied voice of Gaia, and it's an invitation for people to remember earth-bodied and earth wisdom traditions as they're creating the emerging and developing world. That company is supported by a group called Holo Movement, which is incredible. We had an amazing event in Ibiza last year. We had about, I don't know, 220 or so people show up to it, which was so fun. And we are doing that event right before Heart Masters in Asheville, North Carolina this year. So there's actually a contingency of folks in Holo Movement that are leaving right after the event and flying to Ibiza to be with Heartmaster. So that's super fun. Along with that, like when I'm with Janai, I keep thinking like we're in your ambassador call right now, but I keep feeling how good it would be to have you be in our ambassador calls too. And that means like I just want to support the growth of what you're doing. Like that's what the ambassadors are in Holo Movement. And it's like be on the podcasts that we have, be featured in the magazine that we have, come and like be and map all of your projects within Heartmasters on the international map that we're creating specifically for this, and align your Heartmasters profile to what we have in our funding database. Meaning like we have our group of people that are funding Holo Movement. And then we're creating our portfolio to offer that to all the people who additionally want to support the work that's happening within Holo Movement and including Heartmasters and like that portfolio to receive more funding. So I'm so much of a yes to all that. And then all the different ways we get to play with each other. I have no idea what I'm going to do with you in Ibiza, but I know I'm coming. I know I'm going to bring all my heart, and it's just going to be magically wonderful, and I'm here for it.
That's a beautiful invitation. So I'm curious, Chennai, I know that you want to express. Before you do, I'm curious because this is something really a beautiful invitation. I'm curious, what are the steps in really getting Chennai to really speak to the different ambassadors or to communicate the magic in your community? What would you think are the next aligned steps that we can take? And ways that I can support that.
Sure. So we've done little things like the beautiful flyer that was made that was taken to our community when we did the like from Ibiza to Asheville thing. Like that was so beautiful and it went on our email lists, our social media, things like that. Um, how do we enlist ambassadors into that? It's really a simple phone call and conversation, and we're so in the beginning parts of what we're creating in that space. It's like it's all are already in my mind, already happening. It's just a matter of creating the system in order to execute it. Maybe you guys come on one of our calls. We have one in a couple of days that talk about the wave and the holo movement and blah blah blah. But I think it'd be a really good chance for you just to meet everyone. Like that's a really good. I've been talking about Heartmasters and Janai for it feels like months already, and everyone's like, "Who's this Turkish woman that you keep talking about?"
I heard you talking about me and Heartmasters through David Weber. He told me
Mm-hmm.
Rachel is talking about Heartmasters in Holo Movement calls.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Big time. And then also at the with Club Dow Universes. So one of the things that I do is I bring what I'm doing and what we're doing to other communities around the world, like all over the world, like everywhere. And so when something is embedded in my heart, it just that's where it is. And it's like at the forefront of what's happening because it's what I think like some of the best in class opportunities that are happening on the planet to bring us forward alive. So practically speaking, I don't know. I mean, there's so much happening with these events that we're creating. Like it's easy for me to like share the information. Like I've been doing that. Um, my question might be like the system after. This is the stuff that I get into. Is like, yes, everybody comes with their great ideas and their projects and all this stuff. And then how are they creating their collaboration system after the event until the next one? Because that's one of the things that I love focusing on within Holo movement is like creating like those collaboratories, right? Where people can do the thing and then all the different ways people can find out what's happening throughout the rest of the year together. Um, I know that for me, the 3 events that I'm focusing on for like the 12-month cycle is the COP30 in Brazil, the WEF, the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, and Climate Week in New York. Like those are 3 main areas that I'm like, I know I'm gonna be there. I'll do lots of other things, but I'm like, I know I'm gonna be there. I know all of our community is gonna be there, and I know a lot of my people at Holo Movement and at Heartmasters are also going to be there. And so the question is, how do we like, and the question is, do we want to collaborate on any of those opportunities to like engage the community in these like other global activations? And if so, great. Like, let's figure it out. And like, we can share notes on what's happening, who's doing what, where, and go from there.
Wow, beautiful. So many things have been shared, but I'm just going to dive into your question, the curious question of how do we sustain the transformation through collaborations in action? This is exactly where our focus is. That's why we are doing Heartmasters. We are not for the sake of events, but how can we bring these people together instead of having 100 Zoom meetings in these 7 to 11 days? We can experience, embody, and create these cultures of collaboration put into action through regenerative innovation principles. Our focus is specifically regenerative innovation, where the innovation leaders, while in the process of innovating business models, technologies, products and services, cultures, and leadership transformation programs, we can help them, guide them. The first part of Heartmasters is the activation of how we can keep our heart open, the heart intelligence, as we also beautifully spoken about in our Instagram live together. The following, the 30th of May, Regeneratix Ibiza Day is already we start co-creations with the design brief, the principles, the RX codes that we are activating every week on our community platform, Mighty Networks, and also on Zoom, shared through a newsletter, inviting everybody to also share their experiences, is building up to Heartmasters. And in Regeneratix Ibiza Day, we are launching Regenerative Innovation Institute, which will be a combination of an online program distributed to mainly corporate corporations, but open to everyone, where those codes can be learned, practiced, and a part of the curriculum of 13 weeks is a pilot process. How can you pilot it? And then we will also showcase other pilots and other domains so people can co-create. This we are doing with a platform partner, education technology partner, who will distribute this to 600 companies, mainly in Turkey, Middle East, Europe, and United States. We can expand this, the code activations with their teachings, with their practices. For example, what you are doing with metaculture, I would like to, exchange and cross-pollinate and bring you to this platform, to this curriculum, to be distributed and practiced and piloted and measured. That's so important. We have success teams through this EdTech platform who are going to go and based on our signals and principles, they will collect information for us to keep on innovating what we are doing. This is one part. From 1st till 4th of June is the Regenerative Innovation Institute Lab, where we will pilot the institute and its methodologies, its processes. And guess what? We are not going to even wait. We invited the local government and Ibiza Tourism Office to give us a brief so that we can serve to the needs of Ibiza while we are there. It's a €100,000 room sitting with all these consultants, amazing people. Why to waste it? So we invited them, and now we are waiting to receive a brief from them so that we can work, activate it while we are there, and see where it goes. Other than that, we have 30 days of integration calls where everybody keep on being accountable to each other with accountability partnerships, circles, according to different needs of domains with different experts, and every participant is an expert in something as well. And from September 2025 till 2026, every month, 2 hours a month, we will continue activating the RX codes through co-creations, collaborations, where we can invite other communities and we can also be fed. Even there can be ambassadors of codes if, let's say, Holo Movement is amazing in energy, and then there is another community who is amazing in other things. These are not to be kept and hoarded. These are to be circulated and activated wherever we go. I think the core principles of what we are doing is this really reimagining how we are innovating, starting with the innovator's mind, and serve to other communities as well with what we are doing, inviting them to our co-creation sessions in Ibiza, to our online curriculum, to our pilot projects, and to whatever opportunity is going to emerge in the world. So yeah, our media, our community platform, our event, we are all open.
So much yes to like it's like when we met in our first conversation, you're like it was like so we saw each other so much, and it like keeps on showing itself of how similar and how resonant these projects are. I have two questions. One is I remember when we were talking and you mentioned the Middle East and Turkey, how amazing you were about onboarding the corporate companies to do the thing that you wanted them to do. I've said that probably half a dozen times to other people, but can you like tell me again what that was and then how you see that skill set going into the new thing that you're doing? Because you said really clear and measurable, like there was something really clear that you were measuring in those systems before that made you really successful to onboard all those companies.
So you mean in my experience or with this? In my experience, I was leading world's biggest design thinking consultancy, bringing human-centric design thinking as cultures to the leading companies, corporations in the world. And there, design thinking is not something that you can just educate the middle management and expect companies to change their cultures of I want to know it all and control it all, or to let me be happy with uncertainty and let's start thinking like designers. So we had multiple intervention levels. One was to create chief design officer roles for the boards so that the design is not limited to a project or one, silo department. but it is embraced by the top management. Working on projects, putting them in their budgets, and activating some of my team in Fjord and planting them for periods of time to create an osmosis between the existing corporate employees and our design and strategy teams to work together. And we were selecting also champions. Champions were actually showing up for themselves, and we were educating them also in our through our trainings as design leaders in their organizations. The measurement side of things was also very easy. We were receiving the briefs, so there are obvious briefs coming in: increase my revenues, make the customer more loyal, decrease my cost of, whatever. And then we were bringing also the design measurements, what it means to be loved and to be viable, desired by the customers, by the employees, internal customers, and their brand scores from a design perspective. And we have activated those type of within company activations. Once a year, we were bringing together all the employees, all the designer strategists, and doing something called Fjord Design Trends for the next year, bringing from all these different cultures and countries the design trends that are going to happen for next year, projections. And we were turning them into events in our local chapters, inviting all the heads of companies to come together, and we were presenting them the trends, and this was our business development. We were being demanded to go and also present it in relation to in their industries, their companies, to the boards of organizations. And I was going and just presenting the trends, and we were just selling the project as I was making the presentations. The other thing we have been doing was to activate also ecosystems, mainly countries. For example, the top 100 companies or small to medium organizations. We created indexes where we were measuring their future readiness, sponsored by Vodafone, started in Turkey, then it became a global index, in a sweet way, showing where each company is in what place they hold for future fitness in relation to other benchmarks in their industries. And that created like a lot of hype for them to call us, and we had a whole system of who presents, how to convert, what to sell. Of course, when Accenture acquired us, it became another beast. It was not just our job to educate these companies, these regions, but also to educate Accenture, its leadership, and create cultures of design thinking, while we made sure that we continued on the highest quality of service with our existing employees. But there was a lot of uneducation processes. Learning a lot of things from there and knowing the regenerative principles. I'm now more activated into getting into corporations, and because I know no other consultancy can achieve the regenerative principles with it, because it requires a total death and rebirth. We are going to be the agile ones, putting our salt into the soup of evolutionary life. So that's what Regenerative Innovation Institute is going to be about as a beginning.
You're taking the template that you did with design thinking and basically retrofitting it and evolving it a little bit to do regenerative innovation thinking. Is that sound right? Okay, so help me understand because that was a huge thing that you just said, right?
Yeah.
And I want to understand what you're going to do with this like beautiful package that you created, right? And all the lessons and all the connections and all the things that happen there. Like, where is that going to go? Over here with RegenX and Regenerative Innovation Institute and like everything that you're creating here, because I can feel it, but I want to like find like where those wires are, because that's going to be super helpful. I'm so glad we're recording this.
Regenerative innovation is no continuation of any other innovation methodology we made famous in the world. It's a total death and rebirth, which I have gone through the last 7 years, and I'm still in it.
Mhm.
So it would not be fair to say it's a continuum of it and it's just like a retrospection of no, not like that. There is no thread. The only thread is our learning and unlearning and daring to do what we didn't do before. Let's take design thinking. The drama, the Pandora's box that each time we open an innovation box and then every company is compelled to compete with the others, saying that if I have to do it now and fast because the others are doing it. That has been the innovation game. This is like this summary of all innovation of all corporations. I have to do it better than my competition. And nowhere I have seen, let's put human health and well-being, planet's well-being first while we are still making money. You know, there can be charities, there can be health tech companies. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about innovation in general. We used to call the consequences of our ignorance or numbness or looking at the other side, unintended consequences of innovation. And that was in silo thinking, but also not being coherent in our needs, in our value systems, and not being healthy as leaders and as teams. There was competition in the team because the leader was coming from a fearful, scared perspective, and we were creating innovations that were competing. So the Regenerative Innovation Institute's invitation is to start with how you are thinking and the consciousness level. Our meta code consciousness RX0, and they are all recorded, by the way, and we have newsletters around it. Every week we are activating one, is not to take you through a process predefined with output-oriented expectations, but a process of unbecoming in our interconnectedness and coming alive. Health and well-being of the leader, the teams, the cultures is most important, like creating a healthy soil for good ideas, good projects to come to flourish. We are going to be more like the stewards and gardeners instead of disruptors and problem solvers. We are going to participate in inviting them to take responsibility for the ways that they are thinking, making decisions, and activating the codes in their innovation processes and organizations. Each code has its own limitations. We have some selected methodologies to invite to activate them in the organizations, and we have selected ecosystem partners. You can be one of them, so that we don't go just as us, but there are already people doing amazing things, and it is your choice to select and start working with them. Our job is not to do it all at all. Our job is to create the awareness, create the platform, the invitations for the codes, and to have pilots and be the innovation partner to innovate innovation itself. The learnings of design thinking, what worked, what did not work, has been obviously so helpful in the process. But I think humbling ourselves and not act as consultants, but as learners and co-creators in the process has been the biggest gift for me, because I have seen us creating monsters like social media apps that I don't want my daughters to use. I want to create innovations that I want my daughters to grow up with and all of us to benefit from while making. There are so many things to talk about, but I think this gives a good picture. Please look at the RX codes. Join tomorrow with Charles Eisenstein activating the RX value code. The codes, when we are activating them, already tells a lot of the story. How we bring it to corporations for now is this online curriculum that we are going to distribute with the opportunity to do special projects with those companies. And we will also invite our collaborators. The cross-pollination for us is very important. And yeah, I'm very open, but it's not to be decided and designed just by Janai or to be shared in 20 minutes. It is a discovery process, as you very well know and do with your meta cultures.
Yeah, well, this is so beautiful, and I totally get that, and then that's why I'm so happy to be here with you and doing this. The second question I have is you mentioned that it's an institute. I love that. My question about that is, yes, there'll be online components, but do you see an in-person institute emerging? Because Metaculture is actually licensed as Metaculture Institute. And um, there's a lot I can say about that, but I've always had a dream of having an in-person location. And it's so funny. I was just at Yogananda's international headquarters in Los Angeles like last week. I was going to go to the normal one over by the lake in Malibu. And I was like, no, I want to go to the international headquarters because I've never been to the first one. And if you remember in the book and in the real life reality of it, it was a old hotel that was for sale that ended up getting inherited. It did. And I know we're going to be at Suffragelle doing everything there. And so I'm just curious. I'm going to just pose the question, knowing all the information and all the backstories. Um, what are your thoughts about an in-person location?
So the online program is actually our process of entering into the space. One of the things that we are designing with this partner who already has these 600 corporation clients is to select a couple of corporations who can demonstrate as a pilot regenerative innovation process, activating RX codes in real life projects. So we have case studies to also share and spread with the rest of the world. So we go to their locations with special projects. There will be roundtables, speaking engagements, workshops, immersive experiences. Besides what we are doing, this once a year Heart Masters, I would just be like surrendering like I always do. I didn't expect to do an event myself, like it just keeps on happening. This is the sixth time we are doing it. I would be very open to place-based activations. And if there is a place that you are gonna activate in US, or if you are gonna activate in Ibiza, I would be happy to be a part of it. And I am also very mindful that it requires an immense energy and dedication. And right now, as a mother of two, I'm not that, but our platform, our collective, has always been about like how we can take parts to complete and evolve each other. So I don't know. You are more than welcome to share your visions. I know you're a powerful manifestor, my dear.
Well, we'll let that one bake a little bit for now.
Cool.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, ladies, for this insight. It's nice to hear the wisdom of both of you and the curiosity of both of you. I'm interested in understanding when's the dates for the Hollow Movement Ambassador so we can have Chennai come and share some of her wisdom and grace
Oh my gosh,
with this.
yeah, I think it's on the 25th. Let me just double check real quick.
Friday.
Let me just double check on this. The wave.
Please.
It's no, hold on. It's the ripple effect is what we call it. I'm looking at it's on the 24th at 11 a.m. Pacific. And so I can send you this Zoom link right here.
Do you
Let
have an
me.
invitation to put on my calendar? It would be better. I'm traveling tomorrow, this week,
Okay.
and I'm happy to participate. Eric, you too, if you can participate, let's
I
join
will be
together.
flying. I would love to, and I will be flying to Brazil that day. So I
What
won't
are you
be
doing
able.
in Brazil?
I'm curating an experience going back to where my heart has cracked open with a lot of great intentional leaders alongside me. So It will be an experience focused on deep integration of a lot of great wisdom that, you know, we are in focus and benefit to. So this is something that's, you know, is near and dear to my soul, but I will be there for a week and then I fly to Ibiza right after. So, and then we can continue to activate. But if it's possible, is it available in your calendar, Chennai? Like, sorry, are you able to add Chennai in the calendar invite, Rachel?
Yeah, I edit myself.
Yeah, it's you just register and it goes onto your calendar.
I like the system.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been wanting since I've met you, Janai, to introduce you to Yasmin. And Yasmin is the host of our online stuff and the Ripple Effect. And she's this beautiful Moroccan girl who's done incredible work in the world, Harvard graduate, like all this. And she wants to be an astronaut. And so one of her things is she serves Moroccan tea to astronauts and refugees.
I remember you telling about
Yeah,
that.
and she's just the sweetest thing, and I can't wait for the two of you to meet each other. And I feel like one of the other things that could happen is that there's a collaboration between what you're already doing in your monthly hosting and what she's already doing in the monthly hosting, and see if you guys want to co-host together to expand the communities. Like I've always like there's just something there to pay attention to that I think would be really neat.
Voyage.
Mm-hmm. That's right, voyage.
I love it. That makes me really happy to hear. Is it possible to coordinate that meeting, Rachel?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys want to do it before or after the call?
I think after the call would be perfect, hey, tonight, so that they could feel your energy, and then after you go into deeper integration.
Yeah, perfect. We are already connected on LinkedIn, but I haven't talked to her.
Yeah, but I always find that the greatest parts of following through are those warm invitations of
Mhm.
activating a meaningful connection. And then from that place, it opens up something unique. What do you think,
Yeah.
Rachel?
I think that's wonderful. And if I know that the two of you are going to be on, I'm going to put extra effort in making sure a couple of other extra people are there to do that energetic exchange that we just talked about. Because I think that's really valuable what you just said. And I think a lot can happen. Like it'll be a seed sprout.
So when we
I
are talking about these gatherings, you mean the RX codes that we do weekly from here till Heartmasters, or do you mean the Regenerative Innovation Institute's monthly calls?
The monthly call.
Okay.
Yeah, you have your show. I think it's wonderful that you're doing that show. It's great that you're having Charles on, and that you've had so many other amazing people. And that's its own thing. I do know that it'll be really important for you to understand the ecosystem of holo movement, because I really feel like there's like 8 different intersections, like the one I just mentioned with Yasmin. There's like 8 of them. That's like, oh, you really should like, take a look at some of these things. And then also like so for me, I know I'm in Heartmasters, like I'm so here with you, and I want you to feel so in with holo movement and metaculture, because there's so many resources and infrastructure resources that we can offer the growth of something as beautiful as Heartmasters in the world. So there's
Do
quite
you
a
think
lot.
there would be also collaborations for the Regenerative Innovation Institute? Because
Exactly.
just, we have 4 weeks left, and I believe the best activation is to promote it in your communities, one-on-one introductions. You mentioned there was this sustainability boat company, founders maybe to collaborate as brand partners. So these activations are now, and
Yep.
longer term understanding the resources and strategizing, I believe is better with Regenerative Innovation Institute, because even when we are going to corporations, we will need game changers, startups, thought leaders who are already doing it to energize and cross-pollinate. Although it's for corporate clients, the energy and the insights and the circulation will come as an ecosystem. So I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, me too.
We understand each other so well.
Yeah.
Can I make an invitation? Can I make an invitation, ladies, please, to both of all us as a team is to what do we need to get some sales for Heartmasters from Hollow Movement so that we can put ourselves in front of those amazing, because what I've learned and my experience has been once people buy in and they pay attention, then from that place we can actually organize these great leaders to then work deeper because now they're focused on really cultivating. So my experience has been, once they're bought in, once they're fully committed, once they're coming, that's where we actually activate the next stage of regenerative innovation so that they are bought into really taking action. And that is, from my perspective, a very grounded integration and approach, and also from my experience. So this is something that I would love to invite, so we make sure that some of these great leaders that you're inviting are also coming.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the first step is, so if we're going to do this, so we've done the online stuff already, like that's done.
By the
But
way, I haven't seen the social media promotions. If you can share the links, we can then repost. I have posted it on our Instagram and LinkedIn. But I'm not sure, like how we can,
yeah,
I think, still activate cross-pollination.
we have a call this afternoon, and so I'll double check with our social media team on where those things are and have them send me the links so that I can send you the links. So I can do that. If we're coming on the call this week, it's fun to, because there'll be, like 40 or so people from the community, putting the link of like wherever your info's at on there and say, we're offering you this gift to come into the community, la la la, we're doing this other thing. And then you have another call coming up, right? Because it's all about the path, right? It's not just like quick go here. It's like come engage with the community, right? So my question is, I'm sure you have another call between now and the time of the event, yes?
Every Wednesday, we do one call with one expert activating the codes. And at the same time, there is only 4 weeks left to Heartmasters. And I know people want to plan their flights and stuff. So I think 2 segments. One is the community activation, the journey. And we have been talking about maybe some names that you can bring to Heartmasters. If there is an opportunity with those one-on-ones, we can also have meetings with them.
Yeah. Well, and that'd be good. That'd be good. What's the next, like I would say come to the community and to the next call on that following Wednesday as like the first engagement for like the wide, that way they actually feel it. Right. And that'll do something magical. There's a handful of people that want to come that I can give you my short list of that I'm already in communication with around coming. The
Cool.
main
I'm sorry, I don't want to, what's it called? I need to interrupt because we have another call right now. And I just want to be cognizant of the other person's time. That I think it's Lohana, right? She's waiting. We're going to be on the next call. So I just want to be cognizant of that. So is it possible, Rachel, that we shortlist the people that are that you are communicating with, or invite a conversation in a warm email? And then with that kind of bridging the paradigm so that we can communicate a way to really turn it over, because as you know, relationship is everything. And from this relationship, this is how they'll really feel the connection. So I apologize for interrupting you, but I just want to be cognizant of the other person's time that's also waiting. I know for me, that's very important. I really appreciate my own time, so I want to appreciate others.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get on a WhatsApp thread. Stay connected.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank-
Oh, can I
Bye.
have the link of this? I would love to share it.
I will send it over in the group and update it for all of the ambassadors so everybody is aware.
Awesome. Thank you.
Big love.
Bye.